Again, from the meta category, I'd like to take a little look at a node called device info. I bring this up because lately we've been getting a lot more creators who are building their games on PC, and in some cases are building their games to be played on PC, which is great. But you do want to keep in mind that most people that play your game on HypeHype are probably going to be playing it on a mobile phone or a tablet, some sort of mobile device. And the device info will tell your game what kind of device your player is playing on. So we have here is phone, is tablet, is desktop, right? So you're going to get one of those, and that's just going to output a 0 or a 1 depending on what kind of device it is. So, for example, if you are building a game and you are building some PC controls into it, which you can do with the UI node. So, in the UI node here, if we add a button, we go down to the bottom, controller mapping. We have a number of inputs here. It says controller, but it does also include mouse and keyboard. You can, for example, even click on this question mark and it'll tell you what those inputs are depending on what kind of device is being used. You can build your controls around somebody using a mouse and a keyboard if you want, but it might make your game really difficult to play on mobile. So in some cases, you might actually need two different control schemes, right? And then you decide which control scheme is being used based on what kind of device your player is using. And for that, we would use device info, right? So let's say we set up a whole bunch of mouse and keyboard controls in this user interface, and this is invisible, right? So that's not being used because we're assuming that most people are playing on a mobile device. But we throw in here, we say is desktop, we're going to throw that into A. And then B is going to be 1, means that yes, it is desktop. So we say, hey, if it is a desktop, let's turn on this user interface. Why didn't that visible on? There we go. Let's turn on this user interface, and maybe we need to turn off some of the mobile controls that we have built in. And that way you can tailor the experience for what kind of device your player is using. Bam Bam says, I usually build my games for tablet. I also tend to build on tablet and test on tablet. But I do also, with all of my games, try and test them on a phone. And also now that we have the web embed, I'm going to probably go when I have a new game. I'm going to make an itch page for it, and I'm going to play it in the browser, make sure that it plays all right in the browser as well. Because really, the goal is to get people to play your game, and you want people to be able to play your game however they want to play it, right? So it's a good idea to try and tailor the experiences as much as possible for all of the platforms. But I think it's definitely a best practice to make sure first and foremost that it's going to work on the mobile. Because again, most of the people that play your game on HypeHype will be playing it on some sort of mobile device, be it a smartphone or a tablet.